On this week's GTA 5 o'clock, alien cockpit revealed. Could we soon be piloting a UFO? The Beach Bum DLC discussed in detail what's changed and how it affects you. Plus, talking parrots in your apartment, we discuss our plans for GTA Online V2, give you live stream details and tell you how to win another GTA 5 goodie bag. It's all here on this birthday edition of GTA 5 o'clock. Hello and welcome to this special birthday edition of GTA 5 o'clock. Yes, we are 1 year old today, 52 episodes in. My name's James Jarvis, I am the host of GTA 5 o'clock and I'm here with the man who started it all, Dan Dawkins.
I'm finally 1 year old, I'm delighted.
So Dan, we've got a load of stuff to talk about today, something very, very exciting to do with aliens coming up in just a second. We've got some more GTA Online V2 suggestions. And we've got news of the live stream and some goodie bag stuff. Lots to get through.
Yeah, lots to get through. Cracking episode ahead. Let's kick on with some exciting news of alien rooms that we teased on Twitter yesterday. And people went, alien rooms? Well, here it is the gen on alien rooms. Now, not necessarily our information. It's come from the font of all knowledge and nonsense, Reddit. But this is actually quite fascinating, and I can't verify it myself. But James, run us through the main tenets of it.
Right, well, it's quite confusing. So what's happened is people have, as a way of exploring of everything in GTA 5, they've cracked open the game files on a PC, basically, and found references to things that aren't in the game yet. Now, these might be things that have been old code from other missions that weren't ever in the game, or it could be something that you do unlock, like the UFOs that we've seen at the top of Chiliad. One of the things they found in the game code is something that's called alien_runes_overlay, which has a lot of fading and stuff and a lot of different symbols in it. Now, they've managed to put all of these together and make it into something that represents what it would look like in the game. And they've come up with this image that you can see on screen right now. And it's sort of interesting. It looks like everyone is debating that it could be like a HUD for possibly a pilotable UFO.
Yeah, that's the speculation. It's an alien heads-up display. Initially, when people found these sort of hieroglyphic rune letters, they were exploring what the fonts were, what they meant, trying to come up with English translations of the runes. But then, someone had suggested, well, actually, no, the interesting bit is the way they were arranged and how they would appear to you on screen. So it's not necessarily what they say or don't say. It's about what they represent. Now, the interesting thing is a lot of people have said is that there's a space in the bottom left corner, which is where traditionally your GTA radar would sit. Yeah. So you can imagine flying, let's say, a UFO, James, or even a jetpack, which again may not be true.
Alien jetpack now,
yeah,
is it?
Probably a UFO. But it would sit within the existing game sort of, setup. So that's the interesting bit. It is speculative, and I haven't gone into the XML. I don't know how to. I can't prove that. Cleverer people than me could do that, and in fact they are on Reddit. So massive credit to everyone who's gone forward with that. It's thrown a massive olive branch of hope to the UFO conspiracy theorists out there, including myself, where I want to believe. James has come out and said he doesn't believe.
But even I don't believe in the jetpack. A pilotable UFO.
Oh, Mr. Retraction
is a possibility.
Okay,
but the jetpack, I think, isn't in the game now and may or may not be added at a later date.
Interesting. So, what do you think of this rune thing we're seeing?
I think it's interesting to the extent that it does look a bit like a HUD. I don't know, like, why would you want to pilot a UFO in the game anyway? Like, what is it?
What?
Like
well, of course you would. It's a UFO.
Because it's not, it's just in single player, so you can just fly it about for a bit. It's like it's like the blimp.
What if it's super high speed and lets you go crazy high and low super quick? That'd be really exciting.
It'd be exciting, yeah.
So that's why you'd want to do it, because it's exciting.
Okay. Oh, I do want to do it. I can see, like, there's already a load of barriers to entry for this. Like, you're already, to see the UFOs, you have to have 100% game save, which is a lot of work. And I just think, there's going to be a lot of things that you're going to have to achieve in order to fly it.
Well, and I think
I just don't want to put all that work in.
As it should be, because
Well, yes.
in ye olden days, I mean, the jetpack was literally presented to you in the course of gameplay. It wasn't a very brilliant Easter egg, but I think what Rockstar realised was the attention that the hunt for Bigfoot, Leatherface, ghost cars, etc. was causing. So why not, in this sort of meta crowdsourced age, create the ultimate dense, ultra obscure puzzle that could only be solved in this way. And this is a similar thing that Hideo Kojima's doing with the Phantom Pain. And in fact, one of the major cryptic clues he put out in the world, as far as I'm aware, still hasn't been solved, because he created a sort of what do you call it, like a, not a hologram, what's the right word, James, X-ray picture of Snake in that game on different layers, and there was a super high-res version of that poster put out which contained little numbers, and some were speculating they were map locations, there were other little digits, and again, Reddit did a really good job of getting the first batch of information out but never took it to its natural conclusion. So I still feel like that's an enormous meta puzzle that wasn't solved, and I think the danger and the brilliance of people crowdsourcing this stuff is that whilst it looks like you assume someone else is doing this work, it's often the case that a very tiny handful of pioneers drive this stuff.
Yeah.
And the power of the internet makes it look like everyone's doing it. But I think in truth, it's only a handful of people. So it does need just entrepreneurial style people who are willing to push forward and try something new. Now, I know a lot of people have tried lots of different things to find the Mencheliad UFO, and have no doubt tweeted us, have you seen this? And the answer is often yes, we have, because a lot of people have walked the same miles. But there's got to be some abstract weird thing we aren't doing. Some have suggested it's to do with the Epsilon program and different ways that you play the game karmically. I'm not convinced about that, because I don't think the game actually tracks moral behaviour.
No, that would be too in depth. But
there is meta stuff, right? Like, so say Dr. Friedlander, and you sort of phone into him what you've done, that accrues at the end of the game. So it is tracking that, but then you're sort of made aware that it's tracking that by nature of the phone calls and the visits. So I would have thought it's something that's explicitly flagged to you.
Yeah.
I would have thought.
But the good news is, this is new, this is exciting, this is a thing to go and investigate. On your point, Dan, obviously they have discovered this on Reddit, but I think the last post was like 3 days ago. So it's already going a bit like, here's the stuff, that's probably that now. Someone else can go and do the rest of it.
Yeah, because there's just clues without, linkage and without making it work properly. But I just think it's a crumb of hope, is all I'm saying.
There was one person on Reddit called Pedro Iglesias, who I sort of agree with. And he says the problem with this is it's most likely that the only people who are going to be able to reverse engineer this mystery is someone that understands decompiling and bugging code and stuff like that, and they'll discover where the animation for this thing gets called in from, and therefore reverse engineer how to discover the UFO. But wouldn't it be more fun if, as a community, it'd be more satisfying to solve it in the way that Rockstar intended you to solve it, rather than hacking the game apart and then reverse engineering it?
It would. That we're almost trapped in some kind of Schrodinger's cat style scenario of, we should all work together to solve a puzzle that may or may not exist.
Well, yes.
And we won't know until someone solved it, and the only way to solve it is maybe by hacking the code. What does a man do?
I don't know.
I don't know, but I for one love it. It's giving more longevity to GTA 5, and I'm pro conspiracy.
All right. Well, if you've got any updates on this or the alien conspiracy or anything like that, don't forget to tweet us at GtaVoclock on Twitter, or leave a comment below, and we do read everything, so we'll go through it and we'll see if any of you have picked up on anything. But for now, Alien Ruins, exciting. Let's move on to the Beach Bum update, which came out this week on Tuesday, I believe, on Xbox 360 and PS3. It's 1.06 is the update you'll need, and we've done a video on it. Went up on the channel earlier this week showing you everything that you get and how to get it all, like the new cars and the new vehicles and stuff. But Dan, on the night it came out, Rockstar released some technical information about sort of the bugs that it's going to fix and the griefing stuff that they've also implemented. Should we have a look at that?
Rockstar's changes break down essentially into like fixes for glitches, and then like actual sort of structural changes to the reward system and the way different things work. the bug stuff, some of it's sort of too boring and, you know, itsy bitsy to talk about, but other bits are quite fascinating. Essentially, a lot of it's about people losing personal vehicles. Like, for example, an issue where the game would delete your personal vehicle if you had another player in it when you added a tracker and insurance. It says it fixed another issue where, under rare circumstances, players couldn't claim back their personal vehicle in GTA Online. Now, there's lots of other glitches people were using, like people were able to get the D-Class Sheriff SUV into Los Santos Customs and respray it, causing the menus to malfunction. I particularly like this one. It says it fixed an issue where players could occasionally get stuck after killing a pedestrian with a golf ball.
Yeah.
Now, that's never happened, but that's an amazing bug to be in the game, or used to be in the game. Corrected an exploit where players would retain their personal vehicle after selling it at LS Customs by transitioning back and forth between story mode and online. I mean, you know, if you're using that kind of glitch, what a cheapskate you are.
Well,
you know?
I've seen a lot of people getting sad that kind of thing has been fixed, and that they can no longer like glitch tanks and helicopters into the game anymore. And it's like, well, if you're not playing it right, then you don't deserve to have that kind of stuff.
It's like being sad that the cash point or the ATM has stopped paying out free money.
Or is just giving you the money you wanted.
Yeah, or even double ironically, apparently Rockstar have started handing out random amounts of money, and people are saying they're being gifted random amounts of money through glitching. But, you know, you can't expect faults to be de facto. That's just not how things work. So that's essentially, there's a big list of fixes. You can probably click out now, see a link, catch up with all of that stuff, but it's all, I think, stuff that improves or heals the core experience. Now, the tuning is really interesting because this addresses a lot of the issues we talked about last week with our GTA Online version 2, our wish list.
Which we will get onto more of that later.
Yeah, and there's some great suggestions. Now, some of the things are, you know, things like the bad sport penalty for destroying personal vehicles has been significantly reduced. Which seems like a welcome thing, particularly if you've accidentally blown up someone's car.
Yeah.
And again, sometimes it's fun to shoot each other's cars and not necessarily the work of an evil mastermind.
Exactly. Sometimes you want to. If you're in a lobby with a load of friends and one of them has shot you in the face and you're like, well, I've just got a rocket launcher here, I'm going to blow up your car. Like, that's funny, but obviously it's not malicious, so you shouldn't really be punished for that.
Yeah, not to the full extent of the bad sport law. Now, another one is players will no longer receive a bad sport penalty when they are in a non-moving tank and other players crash a vehicle into them.
Good.
Yeah, good, because you wouldn't expect to be penalised for that.
Sitting in your non-moving tank, which I hope you've got by legitimate means.
Yeah, and again, it says the GTA dollars and RP rewards for races, death matches and parachuting are now based on the average time they take to complete. Which again makes sense because there were certain missions, quick missions you could do to maximise cash, where now it's all about, you know, like you'd expect, I guess in life, the longer and harder you work, the more you get. So the system's becoming a bit more meritocratic, I guess, which is good.
That makes a lot of sense. The only problem I've seen mentioned with that, and obviously it's a ridiculous balancing act, is for new players coming into the game, it's now going to be much harder to get RP and GTA dollars because the smaller missions genuinely take a shorter amount of time to complete. So to level up, it's going to take you a lot longer. Yeah,
that is tricky and tough, but I guess that's your punishment for being late to the party.
But I mean, that's impossible to fix, isn't it? So
it's going to be, you know, you end up with any system, you start from scratch, and before you know it, you've got this big steeple stack of accrued problems, and you knock out one and you create another, and they've kind of got to draw the line somewhere. Now, another thing they've changed, it says players now receive GTA dollars and RP rewards when failing a co-op job or being a member of the losing team during a versus mission, depending on how long the job mission lasts. Again, it's just saying your time isn't wasted.
Yeah, that's great, because some of the missions take like 20 minutes, half an hour to do, and if you fail it right at the end, there's like 29 minutes of wasted time. But now at least you're getting, at least in part, rewarded a little bit.
Yeah, exactly, which makes perfect sense. Now it says players now receive a bonus GTA dollars multiplier for missions when played at the higher difficulty levels. Normal is 1.25 payout, hard is 1.5 times the payout. Makes perfect sense.
It was in the game before, but I don't think it was working, so now they've obviously fixed it.
Good fix. Now in Team Deathmatch, all players on a team now receive the same GTA dollars and RP rewards. It says with the winning team getting roughly 4 to 5 times what the losing team receives. Good news for me, because when I'm often the strongest member at the bottom of our team's winning leaderboard, I get the same cash as the top dog.
Yes, bonus.
Delicious. Okay, now it says remove some instances of debris in specific races, including the cardboard from the down the drain race. Now, I've not experienced that, but I guess people were like annoyingly clattering into scenery, and it's just...
I think you bash into it and it would get in your way, and it's just sort of pointless being there, really.
Yeah, and it says deliveries from Pegasus have been reduced from $1,000 to $200.
Good.
It says the cost of removing a wanted level by calling Leicester has been scaled based on the amount of stars you have at a cost of $200 a star. Again, that makes perfect sense. Restricted cars and vehicles that have been added to player garages through exploits have been removed. This includes tanks, helicopters and police vehicles. Unlucky.
Yeah.
Go back to your house, your tank's gone.
Exactly.
Again, the government have taken it. It says to eliminate any remaining vehicle loss issues, an additional automatic cloud save will occur when purchasing a vehicle or vehicle mod.
Excellent. So that is the Rockstar additions to GTA Online as it stands. We've also had a lot of suggestions for our GTA Online V2 campaign, which we will make a big list of and eventually hopefully submit to Rockstar at some point. And these are great. We haven't been able to get them all because you all submitted quite a lot of extra things you wanted.
Yeah.
So if yours isn't in this list, keep submitting it and we will put it into the master list in the future. Quick mention before we start. Last week we said that how annoying it was that you can't get out of the money screen on your phone after doing deposits and stuff.
Yeah.
Obviously we knew that once you have deposited the money, you just have to press triangle or Y on the Xbox and you'll be jumped straight back out of that menu.
Exactly.
But we should point that out.
Which we knew but didn't let on.
We did know.
And many people brilliantly reminded us.
Many people told us about that.
Yeah.
But let's go through a list of some of the things that people have sent us then. I'll kick it off with Ethan Downs, who reckons it would be a good idea to have pets in GTA Online. Yes, I would very much like to own a dog.
Yeah, I think that's great fun. It sort of makes sense. You can't see why not. I guess the only problem would be probably with what's the UK charity, the
PCC?
Yes.
No, PCA, Animals.
Yeah, RSPCA, because that's the National Society for Protection of Cruelty to Children. And we definitely don't want children who can be blown up in GTA. We definitely don't want that. But animals, also my concern would be like some sick maniac putting a sticky bomb on your house pet and quite how the game would respond to it.
Maybe they just live in your apartment then, so they can't actually go outside. But they're like live-in dogs.
In its own way cruel, but sort of for their own good. It's safe.
Yeah, or parrots. They just stay in cages.
Parrots would actually be quite funny, because if you could use your headset to give your parrot a phrase,
teach it a word.
So when people come into your house, the parrot would say it. That would be good. That would be like moderately amusing. I mean, again, if I was Rockstar and I had other things to think about, I'd focus on making story DLC and/or further additions to GTA Online, and then work down to the parrot.
Well, lots of people have been complaining about bad sport, obviously, but now with the new update, that seems to have been fixed, so that's good. Next one, Dan.
J-Dog Rumours asks for custom graffiti. That's good, right?
Yeah, I think that'd be brilliant, especially if it's crew tagged custom graffiti that you can leave around the world.
I'd love that. In fact, that in itself would create a kind of meta game, much like GTA, the end of GTA San Andreas, where you fight for control of the territory. Now, what if like a game mode was someone has to spray and lay down a marker, which takes a certain amount of time? It's like, I suppose, like protecting a flag or something.
Yeah.
Someone has to spray and lay it down to mark out their turf, and the other guys have to protect him.
Yeah, first team to spray a building with their tag, and the tag's massive and it takes ages.
Yeah, and that'd be fun. And again, just the idea of actually creating custom tags which decorate the world. I imagine for Rockstar that's probably a sort of technical nightmare to have like a populated world with permanent things attached to each player.
But they've done it. Far Cry does it in their game, so online. So it's possible.
Yeah.
But as you say, they've probably got other things to think about right now.
Parrots, for example.
Yes. Brandon Battleborn thinks wingsuits are an absolute necessity for GTA Online. He says, who wouldn't love hopping out of a heli at top height halfway across the map and land in the military base to steal a jet and do it all over again? Well, I'd love that. I mean, they've got parachutes. Wingsuits would just be another addition, but where would they sit on the weapon wheel. It's a fun thing to have, though.
Yeah, I mean, if you've ever used the wingsuit in the SSX reboot that came out, that was a really nice addition. I guess they're like a manoeuvrable high-speed parachute, so it's not a fundamentally different dynamic to parachutes, but just a bit nippier and easier to use. You know, why not? I think it wouldn't be a very difficult thing to implement, and you could probably create some fun, tuned wingsuit game modes where you're having to, like, a high-speed go through certain parts of scenery and stuff like that.
Jack Marlborough says, instead of the cheaters pool, people should be put in prison for a certain amount of time corresponding to the seriousness of that crime. E.g., blowing up someone's car gets you 2 in-game days. That would be quite funny.
It would be funny if, while you were in prison, you didn't have to like just stare at a wall in solitary detention. Let's say you had a cell and you could watch TV, so that would be one way to pass the time. Another might be you do press-ups and earn stamina or something. Like, if there were different things to do with your time in prison, that would be entertaining. And what would be even better was if you could bust people out of prison with a crew. That would be really exciting. I love the idea of being like the A-team and busting out some big-ass crim.
Yeah. Or the prison, you know, if it just acted like a normal prison, like you had time to go out in the yard and play games with other people who are in the prison, and you could pass little notes around and eat food, and at the same
or if you could
time
actually escape, and then there's an escape from prison meta game. That would be tremendous fun. Again, probably quite complicated when you've got a parrot to code, but you know, it's another exciting thing in potential. Ambi Bagala Bear, is that his name?
Yep.
He says, I want a pool table in my apartment. Agree? Yes.
Well, this goes back to our apartments need to be more fun thing from last week. A lot of people have been suggesting pool tables, darts tables, bowling alleys, things like that. Things that you can buy to put in a certain room in your apartment to make it a place to go and hang out as a crew. And pool tables are obviously a big thing.
Or how about this? A pool in your apartment. A literal pool.
Indoor pools.
And you have swimming parties.
Yeah.
That would be pretty funny. Well, not that funny, but it would be alright.
Rick Smooth TV says it would be awesome if they had team sports like football, basketball, baseball, hockey and more. What do you think about that?
I think that's complicated and probably won't happen, but I think anything that explicitly encourages team dynamics and teamwork is where GTA is best. We found out on our Friday GTA 5 o'clock live feeds that when you work together as a team, the game is better.
Yeah.
Now, at the moment, you've got a very constrained tool set of things you can do, and it's like I talked about last week, where I'd love to be able to do, I suppose, formation dancing in the apartment, be it line dancing, street dance, whatever it is you want to do. Get a group twerk on. That would be weird, but it's stuff like that. So I think hey, maybe a simplified team sports game could work quite well, or some sort of team dynamic, explicit mode.
I think someone also said as well that they'd like to go and watch like a sport in an arena or something like that. So it'd be you'd support a team within the game, and you could go and see them like every week and go and watch your favourite team, not like an AI team, and it would just be like a thing that you just sat there and went, oh, they're winning, oh, they've lost, like as in a football thing. That might be easier.
I think that would be quite funny, like if it was done in a way that you somehow felt you could encourage the result, whether it's by like synchronized cheering or some
Mexican
events, waves, or even like, let's say, things like in the game or in online, if you could like sabotage the food truck going to the opposing team or some sort of thing that somehow, I mean, that's such a meta thing to do, but there's all sorts of ways you can make that fun.
Red Bull Vodka wants the casino open. That's it. The casino to open was his one line of comments.
Yeah, and lots of people speculated it would open when online came live.
And a lot of people have mentioned poker and card games and things in the apartment or anything like that. Obviously, if there's a casino, that's going to be in there.
All I would say on the casino opening is, if I was at Rockstar and I had planned at some stage to release Las Venturas DLC, I would be saving the inclusion of casinos for then.
Yeah. Obviously, we've gone through, lots of people love the customization thing we talked about for apartments and cars and stuff. One comment that I saw said, wouldn't it be cool to have your Snackmatic pictures on the wall of your apartment?
Oh, that's brilliant.
That's a really cool little touch.
Yeah, that's super cool.
So people could come around and see all the things that you've taken pictures of.
Love that. Okay, Zaffers says, the ability to buy a blimp and mod it to change the dirigible into the shape of a balloon animal.
So instead of being like a cigar shape, you've got like giraffes and that floating above the city.
Yeah, again, I put that slightly somewhere above or below the parrot in terms of my changes, but it's pretty funny.
If you're making the carnival mode that we discussed last week, then imagine having loads of floating animals in the air as the carnival went past.
Yes. Again, Rockstar, are you listening? Yes. Are you acting? Probably not with immediacy, but these are interesting things.
A couple more to go through. Tyler Durton wants horses so he can go jousting in GTA, or obviously being able to joust on motorbikes too. He says horses a thing that Rockstar have done in the past in Red Dead, obviously.
Yeah.
The casino is next to what could be a circular horse track or dog track or something like that. So it'd be a good mode of transport to see people riding around on a horse. I'd love it.
I think it could work in the right part of the countryside.
Again, your RSPCA people are
twin to some kind of game mode that explicitly rewarded it. Do I actually want to joust on horses?
Yes, you do.
Yeah, apparently I do, says James. Alright, come on. Now, Jerry Floriano on Twitter says, I want the ability to sell my cars to other players for whatever price that me and the buyer agree on. This is exactly like we talked about for apartments. This is quite a nice thing. If you could really pimp up your car to a personal degree and add craft to it, you can then sell it on for value. So if you could like put custom graffiti on it, buy all the top pimp kit, you know, it's like buying a Vertu diamond phone in real life or some other such nonsense. You know, it's the ultimate in personalisation and craft.
Yeah, it'd be great. Adam Foster is up next. Maybe have the ability to add security to your cribs. It'd be cool to be driving around and just have like a load of men outside in black suits and earpieces in. I don't know what purpose it would serve at the moment because your cribs can only be entered if you invite people in.
Yeah, that's all the security you really need. Yes or no?
A door.
Again, what would be a brilliant game mode would be a kind of Scarface versus unruly workers type mode where you inhabit a giant mansion, you being you alone or you and a couple of friends, and then you've got access to a finite resource of security devices, be it automated gun turrets, CCTV, tripwires, different things like that, or attack dogs, bees, gas, dogs with bees in their mouths, all those kind of things. And then the other team has just got to find a way into your control centre, going past traps, sneaking in. So the onus then is on stealth, explosive. It's a little bit like the heist in the game. I think that would be a tremendous fun interplay mode. And again, it's stuff that other games have explored, so I'd love to see that. I basically want them to make Die Hard in GTA 5.
Abdul Sanchez says, wouldn't it be cool to have a weapon wall in your apartment that would save you going to ammunition a lot and you could show off all your cool weapons to all your friends? That'd be alright.
Yeah, I mean, it makes him sound slightly like a madman, but it would be cool because especially if you had like a covert weapon wall, so it's a bit like Batman's
one that flips around.
Secret library. So if you go in and like stamp on a foot, I mean, in fact that would be absolutely badass if you went into like your bedroom and you stamped on a weapon wall and all the weapons popped out. But then, you know, hey, why not go the full hog? Why not literally be Batman? Why not be some kind of like get a heavy armor in the game that's like 5 times as powerful as the real heavy armor, and you literally look like Batman and have an incredible cargo thing.
And the house you buy has got a pole down to an underground thing where your car comes out of.
That would be awesome. I got to be honest again, I'm giving Rockstar so many good ideas.
You want to hold some of this back?
It's absolutely ridiculous.
Alistair says added nightlife like nightclubs in GTA Online. There's not really anywhere to go apart from the one strip club. With friends when you meet up. So yeah, nightclubs would be cool to go and dance and drink and just chill out. That'd be good.
Yeah, that's cool. You could even link it to really fun real life things, like if a GTA Online player had entered his birth date and the game knew, and then there was like bonus RP for missions where you went out and got them sozzled, or you did something fun with them,
or even going out with them on their birthday rather than ignoring them.
Yeah,
that'd be good.
There's ways to, within game mechanisms, incentivize funny, silly things such as this.
And finally then, IH8YH.
I hate YH.
I hate, I don't know who YH is.
I hate youth hostels.
Okay, I hate youth hostels just says in capital letters, destruction derbies. Which is a thing, Dan, I think you'll be quite excited about because you like probably in the Destruction Derbies they'll probably have to have their top off, I'd imagine, driving in their car.
I don't know what you're saying there.
And
but
then
yeah, maybe the top down on their car.
yes, and
To reveal their tops off.
that'd be great though, in a big circle and everyone smashing into each other. A bit like the thing we constructed in the live stream on Friday at the top of the maze bank.
Yeah, that was
when everyone was
destruction of men's faces with
having-
fists, though.
Well, yeah. Okay, so that is the GTA Online V2 update that we have so far. If you have any more suggestions, fire them at us on Twitter at GTAVoclock, or put them in the comments below using the hashtag GTA Online V2, and we will add them in to next week's show and put them in our big master list.
Mm-hmm.
Right, two things before we go down. We've got let's do goodie bag. We've got the winner of our goodie bag competition, which we didn't announce on the Friday live stream because we forgot.
Yeah, every week we're giving away, until we run out of goodie bags, we're giving away a really great GTA 5 goodie bag. All you need to do to enter is to leave an interesting, fun comment in the comments on YouTube. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel and click the like button, which qualifies you for entry. It's as simple as that. Now, we've had some exceedingly interesting entries. A lot of them start with the poem "Roses are red, violets are blue.
GTA's
I
great.
eat cheese, please join my crew," and stuff. You know, maybe even less talented than that was. So there's been all sorts of different rhymes. Lots of people just saying things like "give me bag,"
Yeah, goodie bag.
yeah, goodie bag, please, which is nice. And again, I appreciate you've done something as opposed to nothing. Now, other extremes have been people who've really gone the extra mile. You know, the marathon, the cross-Atlantic journey, the solar eclipse trip. They've done the full amount. Now, a special shout out to at Nathan Gibson 91, who created a video for us based on my quite literal shout out for something factual and amusing. It was really out of left field. James especially appreciated it, and then I think he sent me a series of tweets with facts and various things. I don't know if it's quite what I meant, but I do totally appreciate the literal translation, and I definitely appreciate the effort. Unfortunately, I don't want to say to people that you must bombard my inbox with stuff to win, so I can't condone that with the giving out of a goodie bag. But if you get in touch with us, and how do we do that? What's the dynamic?
Why, he knows you on Twitter. So.
Not through me, James. Let's make this through YouTube.
Well, if you send us a message to the CVG account on YouTube, we will reply.
What I will do is I will dig out some of my personal GTA 5 sticker stash and send you some cool stickers.
Okay, but the goodie bag winner from last week is Justin Turlin, who says he's been following us for like 2 years, loves the show. His wife doesn't love GTA so much, but he's got a 2-year-old daughter who knows who Chop is, and every time she sees him, she says Chop, which is quite funny, and she likes it when he plays fetch with Chop in the game. We're sort of giving the Chop toy to his daughter rather than him.
Yeah, he says, please let me so I can give my daughter the Chop doll so Daddy can have all the other cool stuff. Maybe my wife can use the timer to bake or make her tea, lol.
Well,
now, I mean, you could portray this family situation as, God bless him, Justin sits at home, he plays a lot of GTA as his daughter watches on going, when can I watch the cartoons, Daddy? And Mum sits in the kitchen firmly doing baking, which may not be the most sort of equal way to live your life. So Justin, do make sure, and I'm sure you do, to spend a lot of time with your family and child. Certainly not, put GTA to the fringes for a while to find family time. But I'm pleased that you're going to give the dog to your daughter, and maybe it's safer than a real Rottweiler, who knows. So yeah, that's great. So we're going to send you the goodies.
Yeah, he says he loves the show, wish we had a TV show. Well, that's nice, but I'm not sure we'd
so
ever
do
get
I.
across on TV.
But with my didactic advice like that and moral quandaries, I'm not sure that's going to happen.
Right, so there we go. So to win the goodie bag, the winner of which we will announce on Friday, put hashtag goodie bag in the comments below, and we will pick a winner on Friday's live stream. And speaking of the live stream, Dan, wow, how professional was that?
This is why we should have a TV show.
Yeah, exactly. On the live stream on Friday, which you can see at 4 p.m. GMT, other times are in the description, we are going to have a beach party to celebrate the release of the Beach Bum DLC. So what we want you to do is come down to the beach, right next to the Del Perro Pier. We'll be on the beach. Wear your best beach clothes. Now all of the clothes and cars are free, so there's no excuse of turning up in a suit or something like that we've had before. So wear your best beach clothes, come to the beach, bring your modded car with you. All of the Beach Bum cars are free, modding isn't, but bring your car with you anyway, and we'll have a giant party on the beach to open the show. Then we've got Bounty Hunter, which is our regular. We put a bounty on someone and someone runs away. And then we're going to explore a couple of the Beach Bum new mission types. We've got a team deathmatch right on the beach, and there's a vehicle deathmatch involving tanks, which we'll probably get Dan to play, and it will be hilarious.
Oh, good grief.
It's not a one-hit kill though, Dan, so you'll be fine to just keep playing in the tanks. And then, if there's time, we might have Dan's famous scramble up Mount Chiliad with everyone in the server using one of the new beach buggies.
Oh, that sounds good.
And then, if we get to the top and we're still short of time, we could raid Fort Zancudo as a group and see if we can.
Yeah, we had an exciting explosive team-based end to last week, so it might be good to mimic that in an even more explosive situation.
So loads to do on Friday, so make sure you join us for that. Thanks for listening this week. Don't forget to subscribe by hitting the subscribe button and the like button.
And if you're watching on a PC or a Mac and this is the right bit of timing, there may be a shiny subscribe bar hitting you metaphorically in the face as we speak.
That's right, there will be right now. So hit that button, check out the other videos that are on the right hand side as well. We'll see you on Friday, and if not, we will see you next week.
Yeah, and genuine thanks for following GTA 5 o'clock. Follow us on Twitter, etc, etc. Peace out, see you Friday.